Thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. Do us a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the bell for notifications and new videos when they go up, which happens quite a bit. And, of course, upvote the video itself. It would make us very happy. I'm here with Tom Vanderford for his weekly spot. We've got the biggest scrimmage in the history of Ole Miss football since last week, this weekend.
Exactly. Looking forward to seeing how that quarterback competition evolves. Looking forward to seeing which receivers stand out. The running backs, I don't think we've ever been blessed with this depth and quality of running backs in my lifetime. And once again, just looking for the defense. Last scrimmage, the defensive line, there were parts where they dominated, showed up and showed out. That was so good to hear. We haven't had a dominating defensive line in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a minute or two. Probably 2014, some parts of 2015. Yep. That's probably the last time.
Yep, that's it.
Well, my take is on the quarterback competition is after last week, a similar performance. If Jackson Dart goes out and does it again to where he dominates both scrimmages in fall, the job's basically over with. We're not going to hear from Lane Kiffin anything confirming it. We're not going to hear about the media confirming it. But I think that's where we might be. So the narrative after this scrimmage, I'm predicting this, is that Luke Altmaier had a great scrimmage no matter how he does.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. It's just like the last scrimmage, Coach gave props to Kincaid Dent, which, is in all reality is a distant third. He just likes throwing things out there and seeing what people snap on. Yeah. He baits the media a whole lot. Yeah. But yeah, he's got three really good quarterbacks. They're just, they're young, and they're going to have to learn. But after the performance Dart had, you're right. I mean, what was it, 14-17?
Something like that, yeah.
No picks. That's kind of what you're looking for. And it was against, I assume, some pretty good defenders as well. So, looking forward to just seeing how that competition goes, and looking forward to that first game to see who gets out there and takes the field and just how good we look.
Yeah. Part of what I want to do, and whether I'm right or I'm wrong, I might be proven wrong completely on this, and I'll be okay with that. But I think it is my job to translate what is actually happening. And me being in that room, I know what the conversations that lead to the conversations to the media, and hoping that they'll pick up certain narratives. Because this is the same playbook that Errol Orgeron used 15 years ago. So I think it's important that I kind of tell people like it is. Or like I see it to be, as opposed to saying things that might be, I don't know, a pushed narrative by one side or the other.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, like you said, they both come from the Pete Carroll tree, and they're a lot alike, and the way they do things systemically are a lot alike. I mean, you couldn't probably find two people that were more not alike, naturally, but they use the same system that Pete Carroll used, and they do a lot of the same things that Pete Carroll did. So I would think that we would probably need to listen to you, since you have that experience factor in knowing how these things work out and what the plans are and what the narratives are.
Yeah, and people do not realize Lane Kiffin's coaching staff and the way his head coaching style, up to about 90 or 95% is Pete Carroll. What they did at USC is real similar to what they do here. The stuff with Nick Saban is like, maybe how you deal with the media. Pete Carroll was big on open practices. You can't do that. So it's maybe Nick Saban on closing things down. The shadow that comes in coverage, that's a Nick Saban thing. But most of this is Pete Carroll stuff. The fun, the competitiveness, and the pro mindset are all pillars of the Pete Carroll system back when he was at USC. And it was the same setup that we had when Ed Orgeron was the coach at Ole Miss, which instead of pro mindset, his rule was protect the team. And it means the same thing. It's just a different way to do it. But Lane Kiffin figured out a way to tweak it, make a hashtag out of it, and make it even more successful.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to also. I just want to see the defense again this weekend. So many years of just hoping, that the defense, just like Lane Kiffin said before last season, I just want to see us make somebody punt. That's where we were at the beginning of last season, and now this season, I mean, we've got some really good players, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'll ever forgive Wesley McGriff for what he did to this defense. I mean, those 2017 and 2018 defenses were special bad. I mean, legit.
Oh, yeah. They were, this is just my observation, and I could be wrong. It could have been coaching, it could have been the system, but I think it was a little bit of that, but it was also we were so slow. We were so slow at linebacker, whether it was just not a good first step or whatever it was. We didn't
really have one.
Oh, gosh. I mean, Taylor Polk was really all we had.
Yeah, and he was a walk-on.
And, if you put his heart into Patrick Willis, you'd have another Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
Right. But he, it just sitting there and watching us play State in that Egg Bowl where Fitzgerald just kept running up the middle, man, and there was nobody there. And I'm glad those days are over. I really am.
Chris Relf did that like 9 years earlier.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat us in 2009 doing that as well. Now, before I let you go,
yes, sir.
What are the top 3 things you're looking forward to in tomorrow's scrimmage?
Oh, goodness. Top 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how Dart and Altmaier do, and Kincaid Dent too, but really watching the Dart and Altmaier, watching to see what kind of chemistry is developed between those quarterbacks and the receivers and the tight ends. I know it's been mentioned that this summer Jalen Robinson, and of course he's Dart's big buds with Trigg, that they're kind of working together. I want to see that chemistry develop. I really don't need to see anything from the running backs. From all I've heard, Judkins is going to be a huge surprise. That's hearing from people just talking, and then people on the team, that he's just a grown man. He really is. He's a teenage grown man. So, but I really want to see how our front does. Our linebackers and our defensive line, no matter what set we're in, whether we're in the 3-2-6 or whatever the case is. And then this may be more than 3. You'll have to excuse me. But I want to see how our box safeties do. I think we have 2 very, very, very physical box safeties. And Young and the kid from Auburn. I can't believe Tennyson. I can't think of his name. Yeah, Tennyson. That's something that I think that we're going to enjoy watching this year. We're going to be able to smack some people in the mouth for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I think it should be really interesting to see. And, of course, thank you for coming by for this week's segment. We'll catch you next week as well. But first, I want to let everybody know they can get more on the SEC by making Locked On SEC their second listen. Every day, host Chris Gordy and local experts of Locked On, that would be me, take you across the SEC in 30 minutes or less. Make the Locked On SEC show your second listen every day. Locked On SEC. Tom, thank you very much for stopping by. We will catch you next week. I think next week is like an off week of treatment, so you should feel a little bit better, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next week's my off week, man. I'll be bouncing off the ceiling.
All right. I will see you then, bud, and take care until then.
Thanks, man. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy.